Friday afternoon, a perfect time for a trip. Bottles and newspapers went to the basement. But some things had to be taken to the recycling center.
Hey, looks like you could use a hand. Or maybe another foot. I'm guessing you're going the same way I am. I have to pick up a package for Betsy. The recycling center's right next door. Stick it all in Betsy's wagon. I'll give you a lift. It's gonna be easier pushing you downhill. Uh-oh! George, are you okay? The wheel! I'll get it! Boy, rolled a long way. I bet you could get it to roll from here to the other end of the park if you wanted. Might even set some sort of wheel rolling record. Say, what do you think? For the record? It's really going. It's gone. Hurry, after it! You go that way. I got it. Where could it be? Oh my gosh! The package place will be closing soon. Come on, we'll find the wheel later. Kick. This isn't so bad, as long as we keep the weight. Kick. Over the back wheels and you keep kick. Kicking the other wheel back in, we'll be there in... Hey, we're here! With time to spare. Our problems are over. Oh, this is gonna be a problem. Good idea, George. Let's take your stuff to the recycling center. Then we'll have room in the wagon. Hey, what are you doing, George? That won't work.
all winter, George loved playing with Chef Biscotti's mobile. But when winter was over...
It's spring now, Giorgio. Time to take this down.
Springtime seemed like a bad excuse to get rid of something fun. So why not make a new spring mobile? What's more spring-like than fresh fruit? George thought his mobile had everything a mobile needs. Had he forgotten something?
Balance. That's what you need. Like this.
Wow! Great!
That was something. For our next demonstration of perfect balance, we need a volunteer from the audience.
Save it for the show, Claire. She means we can fix that.
Ta-da!
George wondered, who were these incredible fruit balancers?
Zucchinis!
Biscotti!
Giorgio, these are my friends, the famous zucchinis.
We came by to order food for our rehearsal. Our show is tonight.
Molto bene. I'm gonna deliver it myself.
Thanks! Ciao!
When he woke up that morning, George had never heard of them. But now, all he wanted was to be an amazing balancing zucchini. Being a cat, Gnocchi didn't see what was so tough about balancing. But George needed to see how the zucchinis did it.
You want to deliver this to the zucchinis for me? Aha! Maybe you like to see them again, because you want to be a zucchini, eh? Oh, I know. Because, Giorgio, I too dreamed that I could be an amazing zucchini. Follow your dream, Giorgio. But hurry up before the pizza get cold.
Steve, come on! Work with me here!
Aw, give it up, Betsy. You're too small to move a big brother like me.
Hi, George!
Hey, what do you got there? Smells good. Hey, what happened?
You moved closer, and now it's like we weigh the same. Thanks, George. Food! Sustenance! That which gives us the strength to perform our amazing feats! I think he wants to join us.
It was one of those country mornings when George would have slept late, if a strange sound didn't wake him up. On a windy day, the country house windows were almost musical. As good as the wind sounded, it felt even better. smelled good, too. There had to be lots of things a clever monkey could fly out his window, like heavy winter socks. Birds he drew. His lucky brick. And there was even better stuff downstairs.
What's the excitement, George? Yeah, it's a great day to play in the wind. I'll get the door for you. George, if you're wondering how a big yellow hat would fly, you know the rule, buddy. No one is allowed to play with the yellow hat. Have fun. Clean up after yourself, and don't blow away.
George couldn't decide what he'd fly first. And then he didn't have to. Jumpy Squirrel tries hard to spend all his time in trees, leaping about. But when it's time to eat, he has to go where the nuts are buried.
Hey, George! Perfect kite flying weather, huh? Oh, careful. I'll lose control. Flying a kite's all about control. Oh, this is a lazy Susan.
He didn't know what a kite was when he woke up that morning. But there was nothing in the world George wanted more than to fly a kite.
Sorry, I can't turn over control to an inexperienced city kid. This isn't as easy as I make it look. I studied the Beaufort wind scale for 3 years. I never make mistakes. Rats! That's never coming down. Oh, for a city kid, you sure can climb a tree. Not a scratch. Thanks, George. As a reward, I'll let you fly her.
It was a perfect day for sitting on the balcony, drawing birds, eating grapes, and drinking juice. George had seen a lot of birds, but none wearing one of those. Bird had seen a lot of animals, but none doing that. He wasn't going anywhere till he figured out what kind of animal George was.
George, be careful out there. An artist's life is full of hard knocks. Hey, that's your best bird yet. Oh, the tag? Yeah, that means it's a homing pigeon. Well, they're special birds that always return home. Hold on. Just because he came back here doesn't make this his home. Homing pigeons have special homes. Ah, that's the pizza. Wash up. Did I leave that open? We don't want that pigeon getting in here. Did you wash those hands? Shh. Wash them good. Yesterday you passed me the butter and it had grass on it. George? Oh, you want privacy. Now, where is that pizza cutter? Whoa! I was afraid he'd sneak in. Okay, you open the door. I'll catch him. George, he needs to go home. This just isn't a good home for pigeons.
If that's how it had to be, then George would turn their home into a good home for pigeons. This called for research. The pigeon made his choice. George is always a good monkey when he's asleep. But no monkey wants to sleep through Saturday. This was a Saturday that cried out for something special.
You know what this morning's crying out for? Huh? Donuts! Hold on! I have to get dressed. I can't go out like this. All right, I'm going.
You don't know impatient until you've been a monkey waiting for a donut.
How about eggs with those donuts? Hey, count the eggs and write down how many we have. Ready. So how many eggs do we have? There are no eggs. Well, why didn't you write 0? Oh, you don't know. I thought I was teaching you everything, and I forgot nothing. George, no time like the present to learn. You see, 0 alone means no eggs. None at all. But 0 with other numbers makes them mean a lot more. See, if we write a 0 after 1, that's 10. Write another 0, that's 100. That's 1,000. 10,000. Hey, nice zeros, you've got it. Whoa! Morning. I'll go in here and buy eggs while you get the donuts, okay? 1 dozen donuts, please. We'll meet back home. And be a good little monkey.
Someone on a donut mission can't stop and play. Dogs don't understand. George was really hungry, but his order only had a measly 1 on it. Then he remembered what the man with the yellow hat had told him about zeros.
George, Chalky, good to see ya. Oh, is that an order for your friend with the yellow hat? 100 dozen? Oh, our biggest order ever! Oh, he must be having a giant donut party.
George realized what his zeros had done. But try explaining that to a dog.
Okay, now, where did I leave that piece of paper? I misread the order. It's 1,000 dozen. Oh, this is the biggest day in the entire history of donuts. We'll have to have more donuts flown in from other towns.
It was a perfect day for boating. Anyone with a boat, or even without, was floating on the river. George had never seen so many different boats in his life.
Ooh.
And then he saw a boat that wasn't like any he'd ever seen before. A boat full of cars.
Oh, that's a ferry boat. It carries people in cars across the river.
George loved cars. But cars and boats together, it was the apple pie and ice cream of transportation.
Ahoy! Today's our annual model boat show. Big prizes for little boats.
George! Over here! What do you think of her, George? Sailors call boats her. I bet a city kid like you never knew that.
Yeah. You made that, Bill?
Yes, sir.
Well, that is pretty impressive, isn't it, George?
Oh, thanks. But it's nothing compared to Mr. Quint's model whaling boat. That's it over there.
Draw the nets, laddies. Aye, aye, Cap'n.
And over there is Mrs. Rankin's Ark. And look at all those over there. It's some pretty tough competition this year.
Now, don't underestimate yourself, Bill. That is one fine-looking boat. Good luck. Oh, sure, you can stay with Bill. I'll set you up right here. Okay, I'll be over at the bleachers saving up some seats and sizing up Bill's competition.
I'd sure like to win a ribbon, George. To buy this kit, I had to save 9 weeks of money for my paper route. Oh, I almost forgot to do my paper route. Could you do me a big favor and watch my boat while I'm gone? See you soon.
George knew boat watching was serious business. There were a lot of nice boats here, but not one person had built the greatest boat. A ferry boat. Maybe he could build one. Commanding a ferry had been George's lifelong dream, ever since he first heard of them, earlier that morning. Luckily, Bill's boat looked good as new. Maybe he just put it down the wrong way.
Hey, George, how's it going? I'll be back after I deliver the rest of these papers. Thanks for taking good care of my boat.
George couldn't figure out what he'd done to it. It looked perfect. But he knew one thing.
No!
Bill couldn't enter the contest with this boat. George had to build him a new one, and fast. Unfortunately, George had no idea how to do that.
I know those knocks. Come on in, guys.
Wow, what's that?
My hobby, working on complex things, relaxes me.
Ah. Have you ever seen such a beautiful clock, George?
If you like it now, watch what happens every hour. So, what do you think?
Very impressive.
I'm glad you liked it, George.
Oh, we should go. The rocket presentation is starting soon.
Are you coming with us, George? Or do you want to stay here and watch the clock?
Well, if it's okay with Professor Wiseman, it's okay with me.
Now, if you want to see the little people play again, move the minute hand once around to 12. Have fun.
How long does it take to build a clock like that?
Oh, about 3 years.
Oh, that reminds me. I'll be right back. George, be a good little monkey. Exactly.
George wanted to see the little people again. That looked like George's friend, Compass, the almost homing pigeon. Because when all the other homing pigeons honed in on the statue, he almost made it. It was Compass, all right. George was happy to see his friend the pigeon. And Compass was happy to see his friend the... Well, whatever George was. George wanted Compass to see Professor Wiseman's clock in action. He couldn't fix the minute hand, and that's what made the little people play. He knew they were in there somewhere. George remembered there was another way into the clock. The back. When you take something apart, it's a good idea to pay attention to what went where. It was a perfect day to just walk down the street smelling. So, that's what George did. George's nose took him to all the best smells. Then he reached Monkey Nose Heaven.
Hello, George. It smells better back here, you know.
George couldn't believe all those different, plain-smelling things could become an amazing donut. George was wondering what kind of magic donut makers knew when his ears got in the way of his nose. George's friend Gnocchi was locked in combat with her arch enemy, the extra-large cutesy beau. George didn't understand Tabby, but he listened politely. Gnocchi was thrilled to be free from looking cute. George was officially a cat hero. George almost forgot he was smelling today. Then, Chef Pischetti's kitchen grabbed his nose. Chef Pischetti's kitchen was like a nose circus.
Gnocchi, il mio gatto dolce. You've lost your pretty ribbon. Come see, come see. Ba-ba-doo-ba-doo. There. Now she's cute. Welcome, Giorgio. How is your friend Capello Giallo Grande? Oh, I can't play. I'm making a very special meal for famous restaurant critic Sally Tessio. When she likes a place, business booms. So it's very important that everything be perfect. She has the delicate taste.
You said there'd be fresh bread. I don't see any bread here.
Well, her taste is delicate. But her voice, not so much.
This hard stuff was spaghetti? Didn't smell like anything. George wanted to replace his broken piece. He'd seen the chef put the rest of it in the pot. It didn't smell like much, and the steam coming out was hot. George had to be careful. It had changed. Maybe it wasn't just donut makers. Maybe all kitchens were magic. Here was a pot that turned crisp things into floppy things. What else could it turn floppy? A soft, floppy egg. That'd be funny. Good candidate for floppification. Hunley, the doorman's dachshund, loved his lobby to be clean and organized, just like him.
Good morning, Hunley. Don't you look very shiny and sleek today?
Being long and low made him an excellent finder of lost things.
My keys! Thank you, Hundley.
Dante says thank you, Hunley.
Having sharp hearing made him an excellent squeak detector.
Good ears, Hundley. A doorman's door must look and sound perfect at all times. And his uniform must be spotless.
But Hunley felt his most important job was to protect the place from George, the absolute opposite of all that is organized and neat.
Package for 217. Let's go, Hundley. 217. Oh, no! I'm out of uniform. Delivery, I rush right up.
Right on time. I buy and sell autographed balls. Very expensive. This one's Freddie Frikikio. I have a lot more balls coming today. Valuable collector's items.
Don't worry. Hundley and I'll make sure they're safe. Out of uniform. Ugh. A doorman's uniform is as important as his door. What's wrong, Hundley? Careful! That's full of oil. Oh, no! This is my last clean shirt. A doorman must be spotless. I have to go to the dry cleaners. I won't be long. You're in charge, Hundley.
Hunley knew the first order of business. Watch George. George never realized how much he liked the doorman's uniform. Hunley had never gotten a salute before. He must have been doing an exceptionally good job.
A doorman's uniform is as important as his door.
Hunley had to get that monkey out of uniform. But he still had a job to do.
I see you have a new partner, Hunley. You're both so handsome.
Time is of the essence. How quickly can you clean an oil stain?
An oil stain about this size?
An oil stain exactly that size. That exact oil stain.
I have no idea until I try.
Then try. I can wait because I know Hunley will keep the lobby in perfect order.
Hunley tried to get the coat off George. Which is how he found out George was ticklish. One thing George liked about Lake Wanasink Lake was that he never felt alone, even when he couldn't see other animals. He could tell they were out there.
George, hi. How about a hand? Yeah, I'm preparing an exhibit on local wildlife for the Town Nature Society, and the baby alligator lizard I was studying just disappeared. Thanks. Have fun at the lake? Wow! You saw all those animals? You only heard them? Hey, animal sounds would be great in the exhibit. You want to help me again? Okay, just point the microphone toward the sound till you hear it nice and loud in the headphones. Then, push this red button to record it. Remember, the closer you are to an animal, the louder it gets. But don't get too close.
This was simple for a smart monkey. All he had to do was follow the sound as it got louder and... He tracked one woodpecker and thought he heard a second one. But maybe sounds aren't as simple as they sound. George was collecting pictures of all the sounds he had heard outside. Then he heard a new one, inside. George knew how to track a sound. This was different. It got louder, then went silent. Then it was far away again. This called for a second opinion.
151, 152. Wait. Oh, hi, George. Yeah, can you wait till I'm done with the moth census? Okay, I'm coming. Oh, that's just the smoke detector, George. It needs a new battery.
Oh.
George wasn't sure this was the same sound he'd heard before.
And now, back to my moths.
There it was again, and it didn't come from the smoke detector. That thing was here somewhere, and he knew he could find it. Of course, it must have gone out the window. It was loud, it was soft, it was here, it was gone. George had been counting the minutes all morning. He could hardly wait. Today was dog show day.
Looking forward to seeing your first dog show, George?
Dog show. The idea of dogs putting on a show sounded better than anything he'd ever heard.
If that's Professor Wiseman, would you please let her in?
It's Professor Wiseman. Oh, hello, George. Ready to go?
Ready? I have never seen him so excited. I can't go, remember? I have to finish crunching these numbers.
Bye.
Have fun, you two. And, George. Be a good little monkey, exactly. And close the door, please.
George got more and more excited until the show began. And he found out that a dog show wasn't dogs putting on a show. It was people showing their dogs to each other. George didn't exactly pay attention.
How'd you enjoy the show, George? Aren't all the different breeds fascinating? Would you like to see the winners up close?
George got a big surprise. Because when he actually looked at the big ones and the small ones, and the crazily hairy ones, he thought the dog show was great.
Have you ever seen so many unforgettable dogs before?
Okay. Well, it looks like you had fun. I hope he wasn't too much trouble.
He was no trouble at all.
Wow, that's great to hear.
Gotta run. See you tomorrow.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye. So, you like the dog show, huh?
George wanted to tell the man about all the unforgettable dogs he saw. But he only remembered 3.
It's okay, you can tell me later. Oh, would you do me a big favor and mail these letters? I made a sandwich if you're hungry. And when I'm done, I want to hear about all the dogs.
George was afraid he wouldn't be able to tell the man more, because no matter how hard he tried, he could only remember 3. It was a perfect day to explore Lake Wanasink Lake. Bill called it picture perfect.
You know, George, nature photography requires skill, patience, and timing. Remember, George, to cross a log, you need exact foot placement and a keen sense of balance. Those are tadpoles, George. A common form of pond life. I guess a city kid like you never sees any real wildlife, huh? Hey, why don't we take some back home and observe their growth? While collecting tadpoles, both proper net control and collecting jar placement are crucial. Hey, how'd you like to look after them for me? Do the tadpoles like the lettuce I boiled for them? Now remember, I want you to watch them closely for me. They do some amazing things as they grow. Keep them safe in that bowl, and they should be just fine.
And so, on that gloriously sunny day, George became the proud caretaker of a bowl full of tadpoles. The tadpole's bowl was small. George thought they deserved to stretch their, well, whatever a tadpole stretches, and decided to let them enjoy a quick swim in the lagoon while he went to get their lunch. Where could the tadpoles be? What would he tell Bill?
Hey, George! Lagoon exploration is fascinating, isn't it? Oh, by the way, how are my tadpoles doing? See you soon!
Time to go back to the city, George.
George hoped the tadpoles would be okay without a monkey to feed or protect them.
George! Look, my caterpillar is in its pupa stage. I bet kids like you never see that in the city, huh? Hey, have my tadpoles done anything amazing yet?
Weeks went by before George returned to the lake. George still couldn't find the tadpoles, but they had to be in the lagoon. Unless... The man with the yellow hat always said the same thing about rainy days in the country.
This is great weather. For ducks.
And when the rain stopped, it was great weather for monkeys. Mud that sounded like a duck when he squished it. Yes, it was duck mud. He knew he didn't squish that quack out. He had discovered self-quacking duck mud. Okay, it wasn't duck mud. There were real ducks.
Puddle ducks. See, George, I told you it was great weather for ducks. You're gonna be busy, George. Have fun.
Jumpy Squirrel suddenly became aware of two things. The rain had stopped, and that hairy duck looked familiar. Jumpy Squirrel usually jumped away from anything new. Peking Duck was the same way. Maybe that's why they became good friends instantly. George played by the puddle all day. He even had ducks in his dreams.
I always knew you were meant to be a duck. Have a nice flight.
For centuries, people have wondered what squirrels dream about. The next morning, George raced out for another day with puddle ducks. Something was wrong. The puddle was smaller, a lot smaller.
George? Wow, that puddle sure shrunk. Well, puddles soak into the ground. They don't last forever. Ducks go where there's plenty of water. When the water's gone, they'll leave. It's just what ducks do. You want to come with me to mend fences at the Rankins? Or play with the ducks before they go.